The Shepnaz Podcast begins now.
Welcome to the Shepnaz Podcast. I'm Joe, and today I'm your host, and we are very privileged to have with us the lead team, the dream team of Shepnaz Basketball and Cheer. As you will see here, we have Mike Taylor, Faith Longenecker, and we have Rick Nash and J.R. Judy.
Brian Nash.
I mean, Brian Nash. We're not getting Rick Nash is a hockey player for the Plum Valley.
Are you famous?
I am. Can I get your autograph?
Well, I didn't get you on camera right away, so sorry, Brian. I knew that name from somewhere. All right, so let's go around and do the intros for yourself then. All right, so first of all here, somebody that I know pretty well. Faith, would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Faith Longenecker, and I am the director of Shepnaz Cheer here at Shepherd, and this is our second season having cheerleading as part of the league.
Now, how long have you been around the Shepherd community now?
This is going on 10 years that we've been attending Shepherd since my senior year of high school.
Wow. Okay. And this, you said last year was the first year of cheer. And so, like, how many teams are we going to have this year?
So last year we had 4 squads. They're called squads when it's cheerleading. They're not teams.
Oh, well, I was told that cheerleading was a sport.
It is, but they have squads.
Oh, okay.
So last year we had 4 squads for ages kindergarten through 2nd grade. And this year we are expanding. So we will have 6 squads with 10 spots available on each squad. So we'll have 60 spots for cheerleaders for grades kindergarten through 4th grade.
Nice. All right. I'm sure we'll re-hit that here in a little bit, but since that's a new thing, I wanted to get that in right away. Next up, Mike Taylor. Tell us a little bit about what makes Mike Taylor Mike Taylor.
Well, my name is Mike Taylor. I've been going to Shepherd since about 2007. And even when my son was doing Shepnaz Basketball, Pastor David Middendorf was around, and he kind of used me for some things and just within basketball. And then when he decided to retire, he handed me the baton, and that was about nine years ago. So, but other than that, yeah.
So you're running this show, pretty much.
Well, no. I mean, this is
everything that goes right with Shepnaz Basketball is because of you.
No, it's because of our
And
team.
everything that goes wrong with Shepnaz Basketball is...
It's actually,
That's why we're here.
everything that goes right is because of all of us, and everything that goes wrong is Mike.
Which is fine. That's fine. That's fine.
All right. So as far as like directing now, have you kept track of how many years we're into this now?
Yeah, since Pastor Sam left, I think 2014, I think, and then Rob came 2015, and Rob's first year was my first year.
Wow. So you've been at this for a minute. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Minus 1 year where we didn't have a program because of the nasty COVID. So,
all right. So next we have Brian, not Rick Nash. And I have to tell you guys, looking at the camera from this angle, you two definitely look like 2 sportscasters.
We should get paid more.
I know. You want color or play-by-play?
I'm play-by-play.
Like,
Yeah,
you're going to do the Shepnaz basketball games like this.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
All right. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Brian.
As you alluded, Brian Nash. I have been going to Shepherd for probably about 10 years, somewhere in that time frame. So been around for a while. I've had my daughter went through Shepnaz for 6 years. She played up until the point she got into middle school, and then my son is currently playing now. So he's been playing for 5 years, 6 years. This will be his 7th year coming up. So, and I've been helping Mike for probably about 4 or 5 years now, and prior to that, I helped coach my daughter and my son a couple of different years as we became part of the church and became part of the Shepnaz basketball community.
Nice. And lastly, we have JR.
Yeah, so I am the newest, I guess, staff member on the basketball side. 2 years now officially as a director with you guys. But I previously was a player and a coach, and now I'm a parent of a player and a director. So I've kind of seen all sides of the basketball spectrum. I've been going to Shepherd for about 8 years now as a member. So it's been that long. You've known me for that long now, Mike.
That's why I have the gray hair.
Oh,
or no
stop
hair.
it.
And you also take care of like a lot of the social media things and communications with parents and stuff like that.
Yeah, any of the fancy social media stuff, that's me. So if you're reaching out on the Instagram or the Facebook, you're talking to me, not Mike. So the response might be quicker.
I'll just leave it right there. There was way too many easy opportunities.
But I was hoping somebody would
I'm
jump
trying
in.
to be nice. All right, so here's what I thought would be fun since I'm asking the questions. This is the first time I think ever on the Shepnaz podcast, and I think this is episode, believe it or not, 170. And this is the first time we've been having a room full of athletes. I mean, that for sure.
When are they coming in?
He's in the wrong room.
Where are they?
What I thought would be interesting, I know since you guys are all athletes at heart, if you would tell me what your athletic experience was like back in the day, when you were in high school, or like if you played in college.
Do you mean when our joints worked properly?
Yes.
Okay,
So
back then.
Speak for yourself.
We're going to go back around.
Right.
And you can tell me your athletic experience.
Okay, so I started cheerleading at school when I was in middle school, and I continued to cheer all the way through high school. Did like the whole varsity cheer captain thing in my junior and senior years. And that was pretty much it in terms of sports.
Okay. So you were the cheerleader in high school.
Yeah.
All right. Mike, I know it's been a while, so I thought maybe I would help refresh your memory. So just try to go back to it. All right.
Thank you. Growing up, I was a baseball kid, actually, and loved baseball. But then even tried out for basketball, but that didn't go so well. So, but then came college and basically played intramural sports, basketball, softball. That's probably, and then became an official for flag football. That was fun.
Nice.
That was always fun. Then married life came and church softball teams, but other than that, I don't consider myself an athlete. So.
Well, you just listed off a whole bunch of stuff that you did.
I didn't say I was any good at it. In fact, funny story. I remember back in like the sixth grade area, sixth grade time frame, doing the basketball. I remember trying out and not doing something right, and so since I did something wrong, the whole team had to redo it. Yeah, that was probably the last time I was in an organized basketball league, other than intramurals. But yeah, not good.
We really appreciate that. All right, Brian, can you tell us your experience?
He's probably the most athletic one of us all.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
Well, he does look like the sports commentator.
He's Rick Nash. He played in the NHL.
That's my alter ego, Rick Nash. Well, I grew up playing in a similar style basketball program at Shepnaz. Only it was ran through my school. So I played in that up through to the point where I could play on the school teams in middle school. So I played basketball in middle school through high school, and then after high school, I went on and played at Ohio Wesleyan University for 4 years, and continue to play in open gyms a couple times a week. Still to this point, as long as my body will allow it. Sometimes that second time in a week is a little rough to get up for to go play, but still, it's something I really enjoy, and it's exercise, and I will probably hurt myself before I actually stop. So,
Well, aren't you glad that Faith and Mike, that you got to go before Brian instead of after? All right, so
Just wait for JR.
This was a setup. We're going to talk behind the college athlete.
So what have you been up to?
Well, I played Shepnaz Basketball up until 8th grade.
Nice.
we didn't
So
have-
he
we
was
didn't-
basically professional.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Well, listen, we didn't have a high school, so we don't know how good I could have been. It wasn't very good. But I will say, I played all the time on the carpet gym. So anybody who complained about the floors, man, I played on carpet the whole time. Speaking of cheap plug, new floor next season. So
Can't wait.
Can't wait for that. But I played a lot of soccer when I was younger. I played for 20 years of soccer, and my knees and ankles are telling me about it now. So
Nice. Yeah, as far as the floor is coming along, it's
Coming along.
we got time.
Yep. They're working on it as we speak. So we're very anxious and excited to see that come about. It'll be a very nice floor. It'll be similar to the one that's currently in the FLC.
But the new one will have pickleball lines to it too.
Yes, and I have heard that there is going to be times during the week when that can happen.
I heard pickleball is good for bad joints, Brian. So I think you and I can play.
I was thinking that's right up Mike's alley.
Shepnaz pickleball.
All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about kind of the league breakdowns and how people can register and what people can volunteer for and all that kind of stuff. Shepherd Church is holding a special baptism service at Creekside in Gehenna, Ohio on Sunday, September 10 at 4:30 p.m. Join us for this unique opportunity to publicly declare your faith in Jesus Christ. To sign up or learn more, go to shepnaz.org/baptism. All right, we're back from the break, and Mike's been entertaining us while you guys were listening to something, and we decided to come back in. He's going to tell us a little bit about how the league breaks down into different age groups and the signups that are available, which, by the way, are going on right now. As you're listening to this, the spots are filling up really fast, so you have to get on there. You go to shepnazbasketball.org, and there's a big button in the center of the header that says register. When you click register, it'll take you to a page that has details about cheer and the couple basketball leagues that we have. So, Mike, if you would tell us a little bit about how the age breakdown is and so forth,
Sure.
and different kinds of opportunities that are available.
There's actually 11 different leagues underneath the Shepnaz basketball umbrella, ranging from kindergarten to high school. So the breakdown is we have a kindergarten league, a first and second grade girls league, a first grade boys league, a second grade boys league, a third and fourth grade girls league, a third grade boys league, a fifth and sixth grade girls league, a fifth and sixth grade boys league,
Fourth grade boys.
fourth grade boys league, middle to seventh and eighth grade, high school. I think I'm missing one.
I think it's it.
I noticed as soon as she ran out of fingers,
Yeah, it's like-
it started getting more complicated. So,
but they're all there. And then also Faith was saying, as far as the cheerleading, you want to break it down for that?
Yeah, so we have one league of kindergartners, and so we'll have 10 spots for kindergartners. We have 3 leagues of first and second grade, and then 2 leagues of third and fourth grade, which are the new ones this year.
all right. And roughly how many spots do you know are like available, or is that a bad question for me to ask?
There's 60 cheerleading spots.
That's the easy one. I knew that one.
There's like 600 for
That's
basketball.
actually that's more than it was 40.
Yeah, last year it was 40, and so we are increasing to 60. We felt like last year went really well, and as we're expanding the upward leagues, we're adding the cheerleading to those 3rd and 4th grades. So now we are up to 60 spots, and we're excited that the girls that were in 2nd grade last year have more than one opportunity to be a part of our league.
Nice.
And also with the new flooring, it allows us to move the 3rd grade boys and the 3rd and 4th grade girls from the FLC down into the central complex, where there's more room for cheerleading up on the, or for the cheerleaders up on the stage. So that's a good thing. That's a very good thing.
Now, when you were going through the breakdown kind of the different age groups for the basketball, now some of those would be considered upward. Some of those are community. Can you talk
Correct.
about that a little bit?
Sure. We started Upward League probably 5 or 6 years ago, I would think.
Sounds
And
about right, yeah.
that was the kindergartners, the 1st and 2nd grade girls, the 1st grade boys, and the 2nd grade boys. And then the older leagues were considered transitional or competitive leagues. So this year with the new gym, we decided to go ahead and add in the 3rd and 4th grade girls and the 3rd grade boys into or underneath the Upward umbrella. So with the addition of Pastor Ashley being the chaplain, she's going to be assisting with that and getting a team ready for different volunteering. So if you're a Shepherd person, be looking for an email or some sort of communication from her to have opportunities to volunteer.
Now, also with the school expanding, is the middle school ages now, are they going to be involved with playing any in that, or how does that cross over?
I actually been working with Aubrey Dreyer, and this year was, with the addition of the 7th grade class at Shepherd Christian, we're trying to figure out some things and trying to be creative and trying to merge the two if we can. I think we're to a point right now where they'll have a 7th grade team from the school, and that team will play one of the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade teams that are available.
Okay.
It'll give the school kind of a first trial run for teams and the basketball, and then probably learn from that and go from there from next year.
Nice. Well, I just wanted to hear a little bit from you guys, more from a personal perspective of, like, I know this is a ton of work, and I know that you guys are dedicating a lot of time and energy into doing this. And so I'm just wondering if any of you wanted to share as to the why for you. Like, why do you choose to do Shepnaz Basketball?
I can speak to this. So I grew up in a Christian home, very much involved in church all the time, in church probably every Sunday, Wednesday. Anytime there was anything going on at church, our family was there at whatever church we were going to.
Really?
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine parents who take you to all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And so serving was something that was really emphasized in our family of, this is how you give back to the church. And if you're involved in the church, that's great, but also not just what the church can provide for you, but how are you giving your talents back to God? And so I came to Christ at a really early age, and I was involved in upward sports at a different church growing up. And I just remember that community being really supportive of our families at the time, and just reaching out to us and making sure everything that we needed was covered. And then I got into cheerleading at high school and in middle school. And the one thing I really learned from that is I had an awesome set of coaches who really emphasized the importance of confidence. And I think they saw that in our society today, that so many young girls and young children struggle with confidence and knowing their worth and knowing their value and what they bring. So the confidence to be able to go into a room and lead cheers and ask the crowd to yell with you is kind of like a practice in being confident in other areas of your life. So been going to Shepherd for a while and had seen that there wasn't cheerleading at this basketball league. And so I asked Mike, hey, like, have we ever had cheerleading? I would love to coach. And he goes, no, we haven't had cheerleading, but if you want to be in charge of it, that sounds awesome.
That's like perfect sense.
A lot like Mike. Hey, if you want to do it, knock yourself out.
Go for it.
And I was like, oh, I don't know that I want to be in charge of it. I just wanted to coach. But at the time, my job hadn't allowed me to, but then I changed jobs. And so everything lined up where God was like, I think this is an area where you can start to serve and start to lead. You have the cheerleading experience. You have the opportunity in your life now. And so now I get to provide the same support that Upward provided me when I was a kid, but also help these children learn their confidence and their value in God that the church taught me and that cheerleading taught me.
Nice.
You were available. Best ability, availability.
Yes.
So, Mike, Brian, JR, any of you want to take on the question of why you're doing this?
Because Mike told me to.
No, I didn't realize till now I had a choice.
I'm out of here. No.
We were allowed to say no?
I think from my perspective, there's a couple different things. So growing up and playing in the league was a huge kind of I was never going to make the NBA. Let's be honest here. I wasn't Brian, but it was it's a good memory and a good building block. My buddies and I, we played against each other when we were younger, and we still are like, hey, remember that one time we played against each other? I'm like, it was like second grade, but we still remember those things. And then as a coach, you get to be on the flip side. You kind of get to give those kids that opportunity to make those moments, to make those memories. And I've got kids who I coached years ago who still are connected to me. If they need advice, they'll text me. A couple of the kids I've coached went on to be coaches here, and they got to give back. Mm-hmm. And you start that chain. So it's been kind of cool to give that back. And then having the opportunity to step up and kind of be in a director role, you get to have the full experience. I think the great thing that we're trying to do, especially this season, we're trying to implement more of the church in the league, mm-hmm. because this is a great first step to get people in the building.
Right.
And we can meet people where they are, and we can make this we can use it as an easy launch pad, because some people would never come into our building except for a basketball league. But if you start to just kind of plant that seed, we get to be that impact for people. And that's been the coolest thing, especially like the last couple of seasons. We've been able to grow a lot more, I think, spiritually. Because of this, now we have a men's basketball group that meets on Mondays. And there's a lot of former players from the league who now come, and they get to hear about Jesus that way. And It's just a cool building block. So,
all right. Brian, Mike, I don't want to leave you out.
You can say because Mike told you to. I already did.
Now you took the best answer.
You can still say it.
What you
You can just give the Sunday school answer. Jesus.
I think for me, kind of along the same lines as JR, for here in Gahanna, with only having one high school, I think Shepherd offers a great opportunity for kids that aren't able to make the team in the high school or middle schools. It gives them another outlet to work on their game. It gives them a chance to just play, make new friends, because not all the kids in the league are from Gahanna, so there's some they can make new friends and just opportunity to play. I think is the biggest reason I help to make the league run as smoothly as Mike has hoped it would. So that's really my, I don't know, that's what my reason for involvement is, just kind of giving back, because I had the opportunity to play, but, giving others the opportunity to play and making sure that Shepnaz continues on is my main purpose and reason for helping out here.
He's saying that like kids might not have the chance to play at school, like in Gahanna, because there's only one high school. Also made me think about how in cheerleading there's not a lot of opportunities for young children to get involved in cheerleading. unless they go the competitive cheerleading route, and that can have its own struggles and its own culture. And so this is one of those other outlets of if someone is interested in cheerleading, but they don't want to be in the competitive realm, or there's not a whole lot of other youth opportunities for cheerleading in Gahanna. And I think we're the only church within like 25 or 30 miles that's offering cheerleading for upwards as well. So we definitely know that it was a need and an opportunity for us.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the details as far as if somebody's going to register. We've already talked about the website. It is shepnazbasketball.org, and then you click register. But tell us a little bit about what the cost of the program is, what that includes, when practices are going to start, how long the season goes, all that kind of stuff. Who wants to do that one? Mike?
Sure. Let's start with cheerleading. And actually the cheerleading and also the upward leagues, the kindergarten, the first, second grade girls, first grade boys, second grade boys, third and fourth grade girls, and third grade boys, all underneath that upward umbrella. It's $110 to register, and that pays for the cheer uniform, the jersey, and then everything that's all the practices, the games start first weekend of January and run through the end of February every Saturday. So there's 8 weeks of games. Practices start the first week after Thanksgiving and go throughout the season. So depending on which age group, it could be a Monday night, Tuesday night, Thursday night, or Friday night, depending on the age group. And that's for those 6 leagues. And
There's
then,
a one hour practice
Yes,
for those.
yes, thank you.
So it's a 1 hour commitment during the week for practice, and then the games are about an hour on Saturdays.
Yep. And then the other leagues, the other 5 leagues, the 4th grade boys, 5th and 6th grade girls, 5th and 6th grade boys, 7th and 8th grade in high school. I didn't forget the 4th grade boys.
Got them.
Those 5 leagues, it's $135 for the registration fee, and that includes a new jersey, and then also all the practice times, the game times. It covers the cost of the referees for those 5 leagues, and same thing. The 1 hour practice starts the week after Thanksgiving and runs throughout all the games, January and February. And those 5 leagues actually have a tournament, one and done tournament after the regular season's done. So we wrap everything up about mid March, and then I get to introduce myself to my wife again. So
Nice. So she refers that as the break is over.
the break's over.
Mike, can I add one thing to your registration? There's one big section on the registration that I think is very important especially to me, because I've been there. There is a coaching box on the registrations now. And this is a PSA to anybody out there watching. If you are interested in coaching, please click that box.
Same for cheerleading.
Same for cheerleading. Please click that box. It means more than I think you realize to not only the players, but also to us, because it shows that you want to be involved. And I'm going to sign myself up. You can sign up if you want to, but I will gladly help out coaches if you have no idea what you're doing. But it's on the registration form, and it is very important.
That's on the registration form, and then there's also a button on the website about volunteering. And what are the 3?
It's coaching basketball, coaching cheerleading, and then I think like game timekeeping or concessions.
Exactly. So we're still trying to fill in some blanks and see how that's all going to work. But at least that will give us a pool of volunteers that are willing and able. Like I said, the best ability
Is availability.
Thank you.
And you can do it all on shepnazbasketball.org.
That is
Shepnazbasketball.
correct.
And let me just also say for cheerleading, there's a lot of fear of like, oh, I don't know anything about cheerleading. If you weren't in the cheerleading world, knowing what the motions are, knowing the number of chants or things like that. And just like JR, like we want to provide as much material for the coaches as possible. We want the coaches, or at least for cheerleading, the coaches' emphasis to be on making relationships with the cheerleaders and their families. And so we try to provide as much material as possible so that the coaches don't have to worry about that. So we're providing the lists of cheers and things that you can do. We provide the dance and how to teach it to the girls and things like that. So that, like I said, the coaches' focus can be making the relationships with the girls and with the families.
And with the Upward Leagues, those 6 Upward Leagues, whether it's cheerleading or basketball, Upward has a plethora of resources. I think they have videos, books that, as far as to help coach, even a first-time coach. Hey, I don't know what I'm doing. Well, here's a app that you can use and follow it, and YouTube videos and all that good stuff.
Nice. Well, I want to give you a chance, if there's anything that we didn't cover, to go ahead and cover. But that link again, you can go to shepnazbasketball.org, and you can click there to register. You can click there to volunteer. If you are not having anything to do with registration and you just want to get straight to a form in order to be able to volunteer to help out, there are several ways that you can volunteer. You can either volunteer to help coach with basketball or to assist in coaching with basketball. The same thing with cheer. But also you can volunteer to just be around here, because we need some hands. We need people that are willing to be the hands and feet to run around and take care of things, whether that's working concessions or being a runner for things that need to be taken care of. You can go to not shepnaz.org, although you can go there and get to basketball there, but shepnazbasketball.org/volunteer will take you straight there, or you can hit the button as well. Any last words from the commissioner?
Well, Joe, I don't know how many groups you have coming in, but we have a special presentation for you.
Oh, really? I appreciate that.
You get your own.
Oh, wow.
Shepnaz Basketball.
Honorary Shepnaz.
One of us.
Yeah,
One of
sure.
us.
I appreciate that.
There you go.
Yeah, and I think probably what I need to do with that before I mess it up is I'll go ahead and just frame it and put it on the wall, retire that jury seat right off the rim.
Hang on the rafters.
Put it over your mantle.
All right. Well, I guess we will probably just leave it there then. I want to thank you guys for coming here on the podcast, and want to remind you guys that if anything you heard here today has sparked some conversation in your mind, you can always email us at podcast@shepnaz.org. We'd like you to check us out. Our website is shepnaz.org. Also, we're on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, or as Mike would call it, Instaface.
That's why on the social media.
You're more than welcome to visit us there. For Faith, Mike, Brian, a.k.a. Rick, and JR, have a great day. This podcast is a production of the Shepherd Church of the Nazarene, Gahanna, Ohio. Email to podcast@shepnaz.org and let us know what you think.